Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Litter Media Live. I'm your co-host, Mike Smith, along with Aaron Glandon. Dan Ramey is on assignment again this morning, a project that we'll probably see some video of that later this week down in Pike County. But good to have you along with us on this Tuesday, February the 6th of 2024. Anything that stands out for you on February 6th?
We matched today. We wore the same shirt.
Dan and I, every once in a while, hit on that, and people might think that we planned that. But we
it is not planned, no.
It just happens that way sometimes.
Complete coincidence.
Yes. Coinky dink, as my cousin used to say. I won't tell you which one. Weather today looks like more sunshine today and tomorrow. Highs of 52. It's kind of odd. You see a little frost on the ground in the morning, but then it becomes very pleasant in the afternoon. Highs of 52, as we said, today and tomorrow. 60 on Thursday and Friday, and there's a chance of rain on Friday. And I think I saw where they were talking about maybe cooling off into the low 40s and maybe even the 30s for daytime highs late weekend, early next week. So we're not done with winter yet.
Not quite, even though the groundhog said we were.
Well, I saw a post, somebody, it was Mrs. Groundhog saying that her husband Phil is a habitual liar.
Oh, okay.
So take it for what it's worth. A lot to talk about today, including some special editions that we had yesterday, what's coming up later this week. We'll talk about that. And 3 girls basketball conference championships were decided last night. We'll talk about that as well on sports. And then when Aaron will finish things off with the Revolutionary War history moment, since it's a Tuesday. All that ahead here on Litter Media Live. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. More than 4 decades in the books of experience. And, when you have somebody working on a project in and around your house, you want to make sure they know what they're doing. Well, these folks have been around long enough. They've got that down pat. If you have heating, cooling, or plumbing needs, give Accurate a call.
Our financial lives have never been more complex, and some decisions just can't wait, which is why our K&B Mobility app gives you instant access to the financial tools you need wherever you are. Get a clear picture of all of your accounts, check your daily transactions, receive account alerts, and much more. So no matter where you are or what you are doing, you can make the best decisions for you and your financial goals. Download our Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
You asked, we delivered. New Mike's Hard Lemonade, Zero Sugar. Zero sugar. Amazing taste. Years in the making. Now that's a drink worthy of the name Mike.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
If you need to know what's happening in news in our area that's good news, always check our website. And this is kind of what it looks like here at littermedia.com. And there's stuff on there all the time that's coming in. Of course, our score page is updated every evening. We also have stuff that's coming in over the weekend. We don't take off Saturday and Sunday. If something big comes in, we let you know what's happening, especially alerts and bulletins. You'll see more of those on our Litter X or Litter Twitter. Dr. Barbara Mahaffey, Executive Director of the Scioto Paint Valley Mental Health Center, was our special edition guest yesterday, and she detailed numerous changes for the center over the last 5 years, including why the Greenfield Lynn Golf Clinic was closed and her announcement that retirement is just around the corner.
It takes a year, okay? So in the next I'm hoping the next 3 weeks, the Board of Trustees, they choose, right? They will place the ad, And so then they'll review the applications and they'll do the interviewing. And then I've told them, don't worry, I'm not going to run out the door, right? I'm not into abandonment. So anyway, so they've been working on it, and then they will continue to interview and make decisions. And then I train the next person. So that, because, it's not easy. Yeah. It's not easy being green, but it's not easy being Barbara either. I've got 94,000 emails to attest for it. And then I say to people, if you don't reach me the first time, email me again, because you might be buried.
So again, Barbara's hoping that retirement will take effect maybe sometime late this year, but again, it depends on how soon they hire her replacement, because it's not just hiring that person, it's then training that person to take over. But we appreciate Barbara coming in. If you go to our website story also at littermedia.com, that interview is embedded inside that interview with all of the details about recent changes.
There were 10 projects for the 6th graders and 10 for 7th graders at the Chillicothe City Schools Science Fair on Monday, which Dan was at, and he sent us this report. Projects range from a mechanism designed to assist the colorblind determine colors, which skin cream is the best, to mechanical fingers, artificial intelligence versus real people, and does the 5-second rule really matter? Which it's better to be safe. 10?
That's what I always heard, 10, but he said 5 seconds.
It's better to be safe than sorry. So if you drop food anywhere questionable, just don't eat it. Chillicothe City Schools District Literacy Night is this Thursday.
I think I did see a national report a few years back that said that there really is something to that 10-second rule, that it takes germs a certain amount of time before they can inundate whatever you drop on the ground.
I came back from lunch one day, and I had a Big Mac in my hands, and I had a Coke in my hand, and I had to put in the code to open the door. Yeah. And then when I got in the door, my Big Mac fell out of my hand and onto the ground on the warehouse floor. I did not eat that Big Mac. You did not salvage it. I picked it up real quick, but I did not eat that Big Mac.
Probably a safe bet there, yeah.
The Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Ohio will be hosting their Bowl for Kids' Sake fundraiser March 3rd at Shawnee Lanes in Chillicothe. The cost for the event is $300 per team of 5 bowlers, and sign-ups are at 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. on that day. Each team receives a T-shirt, pizza, and drinks. There are also raffle prizes at the event. Proceeds from the event will support matches in Pickaway, Fayette, Pike, Highland, and Ross counties, and you can find more information on that at our website story or at bbbssco.org.
Have you ever participated in this?
No, I've not. I've been bowling before, though.
We used to put a team together at the radio station years ago, and I don't know that I ever hit 100.
Really?
I have bowled over 100 before, but not at that event.
What's the lowest score you've ever bowled?
Oh, probably 50 something.
I think I bowled a 38 one time.
Is that right? Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
Bad.
I think the best I ever bowled was like a 160 something.
Yeah.
And I was, I don't know, I was hot that day, but that's not even just a little over half the perfect score of 300. So.
Right. Isn't Matt Glandon a good bowler?
I don't know the answer to that. Dan Ramey has his own bowling ball.
Really?
If you own your own bowling ball, that's serious.
My roommate in college was on the bowling team.
Is that right?
He had a bunch of bowling balls.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, check that out if you've not. It's a lot of fun. That's the most important thing. And all the proceeds, again, go to the mentoring programs of Big Brothers, Big Sisters of South Central Ohio. Pickaway County Means Jobs is teaming with the Chamber of Commerce and the SCO Workforce Partnership for a job fair coming up March the 12th. That'll be at 1005 or 1005 South Pickaway Street in Circleville. It runs from 2 to 5 p.m. that day. If you'd like to get more information, you could call the Chamber or Pickaway County Means Jobs to get details. Happy birthday to the Area Agencies on Aging. They're marking their 50th anniversary in 2024. The Ohio Area Agencies on Aging, designated by the Department of Aging, play a crucial role in planning, developing, funding, and implementing local systems of coordinated aging services. Now, locally, the Area Agency on Aging District 7, which is based out of Rio Grande, Ohio, covers 10 counties. They are Adams, Brown, Gallia, Highland, Jackson, Lawrence, Pike, Ross, Scioto, and Vinton counties. And those are your topics for today with sports coming up next.
But first, let's tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. If you have a cleanup job, give Scioto Valley Dumpsters a call. They'll bring you a big orange dumpster. If you have a lot of trash, if you're doing some construction, you have things to throw away, call Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389. And if the job is right, they'll clean it up for you. Tell them Dan and Mike and Aaron sent you. 740-253-8389 for Scioto Valley Dumpsters.
Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
Now that's one fast mower. Take command of your lawn with Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
Mike Smith and Aaron Glandon back with you here on Litter Media Live for this Tuesday. Let's moving into sports. Girls high school basketball last night, there were 3 conference championships determined. Probably the biggest matchup as far as ranked teams, Fairland, which is in the top 5 in the state in Division II, as is Portsmouth in Division III, but they play both in the Ohio Valley Conference. Portsmouth had beaten Fairland earlier this year, but last night Fairland hit 11 three-point goals en route to a 68-51 win over the Lady Trojans. So both of those teams share the OVC title with a record of 13-1. Portsmouth Notre Dame won their 10th straight SOC1 title. They beat Clay 56-17. Now this Notre Dame team, they are tough. They're Division IV. They beat Fisher Catholic earlier. I think that was over the weekend. I think they played twice this year, and they split. So both of those teams are, of course, Fisher Catholic out of Lancaster and Central District, where Portsmouth Notre Dame is in the Southeast District. They probably couldn't meet up until the regional. The third league championship that was decided last night is in the TVC. The Lady Bulldogs of Athens beat Vinton County 62-41. That's the first championship for girls basketball at Athens since the 2014-15 season, almost a decade ago. As you see there was a makeup game in girls SVC action last night. Westfall beat Zane Trace, and a slew of non-conference games that saw Jackson beat Waverly, West over Peebles, Leesburg Fairfield was a winner over Miami Trace, North Adams Piketon, Northwest Waterford, who's a top 10 ranked team in D4, Greene and Logan were all victorious. Now tonight in Litter Media Radio basketball, we have a boys non-conference game that features Vinton County at Washington Courthouse. These two teams in their respective leagues are in virtual first place. Vinton County is 8-0. Washington is a half a game behind Miami Trace, but they both have one loss in that league. I think overall Vinton County is 14-4. Courthouse is 12-2. So it should be a dandy. They're both Division II teams, so they could possibly meet again in the tournaments. Listen for this one tonight. Litter Media Radio, airtime somewhere between 7:15 and 7:30.
The Tays Valley High School has rescheduled their recognition of past Lady Vikings MSL champions for this Saturday night. The ceremony will be conducted at halftime of their varsity girls game versus Logan Elm.
Might remember that had to be postponed from a couple of weeks back because they were going to be playing Circleville,
Right.
and Addison Edgington, of course, was in that serious car crash, which they just postponed it. Different opponent, but the ceremony is this Saturday.
And also in NBA news, the Cavs win to take over second place in the NBA East, and their record is now 32-16.
And looks like a convincing win there over Sacramento.
Let them know.
136-110. I think Boston is in the lead in the Eastern Conference, and they're at least several games ahead of Cleveland. But I think you got to be in the top. I think there's 8 teams in each conference, if I'm not mistaken. Or is that there's 8 teams that get to go to the playoffs in each conference?
I don't know.
It's almost like everybody's invited.
Yeah.
It's kind of like high school. Everybody gets to play. So that's sports. What's coming up next?
What's coming up next is this date in history. Well, it's our revolutionary moment today.
And you're going to tell us about it.
I am going to tell you about it, but not yet.
All right.
Because we got these words from our sponsors.
At Rathkamp Financial, we believe in building client relationships for the long term, guiding you through the stages of wealth with a plan and bringing you closer to reaching your financial dreams. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust with our customized investment solutions.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Archway of Opportunities is a scholarship program. It can include the crew members and it can include managers. The scholarship is $2,500 for crew members and it's $3,000 for managers. For my store alone, we've had $35,000 go out just in 1 year. And for all 7 of our stores, we had $66,000 in scholarship funds.
Worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra.
We're back. And we got a revolutionary moment to talk about.
Okay. Let's hear it, Big Daddy.
Oh, we don't have an image today. I forgot about that.
That's right. We couldn't find a picture of this guy.
No, we couldn't. He seems a little obscure.
Yeah.
Simon Reinhart was born in 1750 to John Thomas Reinhart and Anna Marie O'Neill in Frederick County, Maryland. He served under Captain Philip Grable in the company of the German Battalion of the Continental Line. He died on April 4th, 1781 in Greene County, Pennsylvania, having been ambushed by an Indian. His burial site is unknown, but it's presumed he's buried on the family farm in Greene County, Pennsylvania. Private Simon Reinhart is the honored patriot of Nathaniel Massey's daughter, Joyce Andrews.
Now, I don't know what that means. Honored patriot. Do you have any idea?
I don't know what that means. Is that like a sponsor?
Let's look it up.
Let's look it up.
Honor Patriot. I saw that last night, and I was telling my wife this just a little bit ago when I was updating scores at home last night. Our internet kept going in and out. So I was obviously trying to do something else, and this completely slipped my mind. But Honored Patriot, it's not Joyce, or is it Joyce? No. His mother was Anna Marie O'Neill. So being the honored patriot of Nathaniel Massey's daughter, Joyce Andrews, I have no idea what that means, unless he was married to her.
I can't find it.
But I don't think I've ever been referred to as being an honored patriot because I married Laura, so, oh well.
I don't know.
Have you done any, speaking of this fellow's burial, the sad thing is they're not certain where he's buried.
Right.
When I was in high school, we had a project, Mr. Seifang, the late Marvin Seifang. One of the things that he would have his class do each year is a project where they went to the area cemeteries and they would mark or find all of the veterans' graves, no matter what war or conflict they fought in. That information was then given to the local American Legion who posted the flags in the graves. Mm-hmm. So since my wife and I, we had dated since we were in 8th grade, and we're in high school by this time. This was a joint project.
Right.
Now, she'll tell you that she did all the work, which I don't know that I'd go that far. Maybe 75%, maybe 75% of it. I don't know. But being a history fan, I thought that was fascinating to see. I was surprised how many Revolutionary War graves there are in Ross County.
Really?
Have you been to any of the cemeteries looking for that?
I know there's some Civil War graves in Frankfort, but I didn't know there was Revolutionary.
If you go to, well, of course, we have listeners from all over the region, and you could probably say the same thing about your respective counties. In Fayette County, in Washington Courthouse, where the Dairy Queen is, you know where I'm talking?
I know what you're talking about.
Well, in the block behind those buildings, there's a little cemetery there right along the creek. And if you go into that cemetery, you'll find a lot of Revolutionary War veterans in there.
Huh.
You ever read the sign going into Washington Courthouse as how it got its name?
No.
Many of the people that served under Washington who lived in Virginia came to live in Washington Courthouse. So, many of these people or guys were Revolutionary War soldiers. I know that near Latteville, Concord Presbyterian Church, their cemetery, I think there's at least one or two, at least that many Revolutionary War soldiers, graves that I've seen there. But Aaron's right, there's a lot of Civil War graves in Frankfort behind where the old grain mill used to be. There's a cemetery there. There's a marker there for, I think there's two markers there for Civil War battles. One was in Tennessee, and I can't remember. It was a famous battle, and yet I'm drawing a blank. I can't remember. I think I remember also seeing some markers there for one of the two Bull Run battles. There was two battles at Bull's Run. I can't remember which one, but there's some Civil War vets there. But yeah, there's quite a few Revolutionary War graves in Ross County, and I'm sure probably in the counties that surround us.
You learn something new every day.
You like history, right?
I do like history.
I mean, some people think, why do you prowl around cemeteries? Well, there's a tremendous amount of history there if you just look at the grave markers there. I know over in Frankfort at the, of course, that's Concord Township. There was I'm also fascinated with family names. Now, Putnam, Putnam, is a big name out of our way.
Right.
But there's also a marker out there that it's spelled different. But it sounds like Putnam, but it's not Putnam. And I'm thinking, I wonder if they were related and they had it fallen out, and they just changed the spelling or something.
Maybe.
So your last name is what?
Glandon.
So if you had an out with your family, how would you change your spelling?
I don't know.
Glandon.
My sister thinks we were related way back when to the Glendennings.
Oh, that could be. That was the spelling on the Putnam that was different. Instead of Putnam, it was Putman. Sounds very, and I don't think it was a spelling error on the grave marker. It was just a different spelling. So maybe that's something else. There's so many historians in our area. Of course, Beverly Gray, one of the greats as far as Black history is concerned. She has done so much research. She was on the I think it was Discovery Channel, the National Discovery Channel. She was a feature on one of their specials about the Milano slaves. Many of them, some of them descended from Thomas Jefferson.
Right.
And she's an expert on that. So, but yeah, we have Pat Meddard, who's a local historian, a lot about buildings. I had some folks the other day wanting to know about the history of the house they live in. And they were asking me, who would I contact about that? Well, Pat Meddard, it would be a good one. Kevin Coleman, who we've had on this program, just a number of people. Of course, if you're can't find any individuals, you could call the Ross County Historical Society, and if they can't help you, then they could put you in touch with somebody that can.
Yeah.
So a lot of history out there. If you love history, no matter if it's Ross or surrounding counties, get in touch with your local historical society if you're wanting to get more information about things like, who lived here, or who did this house belong to years ago, that type of thing. They can help you out. That'll wrap it up for us today on Tuesday. I've been screwed up on my days all week, because usually I'm off on Monday because I work on a Friday night. So Dan had to be out on assignment yesterday and today. So I'll be off tomorrow and Thursday, and you and Dan will hold down the ship.
I was saying earlier today does not feel like a Tuesday. It feels like a Thursday for some reason.
Yeah, and I noticed when we have multiple games in a week, where we were doing one a week for so long, it really screws me up.
Yeah.
So it's Tuesday, February 6th. Don't forget to check out tonight, Litter Media Radio, Vinton County Vikings at Washington Courthouse, somewhere between 7:15 and 7:30. Yours truly, along with Tom Beard and Dan Ramey. Also, Dan's driving the bus tonight, so he'll hopefully get us there on time. Until that time, for Dan Ramey and Aaron Glandon, this is Mike Smith. Have a great day, everybody, from all of us here at Litter Media and Litter Media Radio.